Results is the name of the game, and sometimes you can notice instant improvements within a day, within a week, and sometimes you don't notice any improvements whatsoever. We're going to talk about neurological adaptations today, and we're going to make it very simple. And the idea here is to discuss a little bit how and why sometimes we don't see the results that we expect to see. Now, if you read my book, you probably know about this study where you do an overhead throw in the morning in order to do a better overhead throw in the afternoon. This is one example where there could be hundreds of reasons why your throw improves in the afternoon. But personally, I believe it's about preparing the body for a pattern. And the same goes if I tell you to do a specific movement every single day for a week. Then you rest 2 days and you do that movement, and I can almost guarantee you that you will be better at that movement, regardless of whatever movement that is. And that's basically not because you necessarily got stronger, but because your body and your nervous system has been sort of trimmed, and the patterns have been created in your mind and in your body to perform a certain movement, and you just get better and more effective at it. And this is something that can often lead to sort of misunderstandings in new athletes, where they believe that they actually became stronger when they haven't. It's just about getting the patterns into the body and getting more results just because your body knows how to react. And this is something that can also work sort of against us. And when we look at training, specifically technical sports, I believe it's not a good idea to make the training sessions too long, because once you pass a certain point and you're tired, your form will start to be worse, and you won't be able to perform with the same technique and have that optimal pattern that you might have when you're fresh. So that's why I think it's great if you have a coach that sort of cuts your training when you notice that, okay, you're not performing in the same way, in the optimal way. You just cut the training, because a lot of times the athlete will be stubborn and will want to train and try again and try again. And you need someone to tell you, okay, enough is enough. Once you rested, let's try again. On the other side, I've seen coaches who try to do the opposite. So the idea would be to take out the energy from the body. So there was an example of a coach that had the athlete run stairs, jump stairs, so that the athlete could basically not do any more jumps in the stairs. And then the training started, the running training started. So what happens then is that the body will try to find a very efficient way to run, because it's so tired that it has to come up with a way to run in order to spare energy. Now, that might work in some sports, but I don't really recommend that way of teaching the body all the patterns that you need. But I do think that, let's say you want to improve a specific lift, or you want to compete in a specific discipline, I do believe that if you try to train it as frequently as possible, so not as much as possible, but as frequently, meaning that you can, let's say you would compete in a competition to throw free throws in basketball, whatever. If you can throw every morning and every evening, every day for 2 weeks, instead of throwing 100 throws on a Saturday, you split it up and you have multiple days where you throw with, several hours in between, and your body is fresh, and you do your throws, and you can frequently do it. It's a little bit similar to how the memory works, that you can find studies that show that if you want to remember something, you just have to recall it frequently. It's not enough to try to recall it once and very hard. The idea is that you recall it frequently, and if you do it, you will remember it better. So I think the same is for sports, for your body, for your mind, to improve in sports, improve especially in the performance. Because there's a difference also if you look at someone that's very strong and you can see that person is stronger today than last year, it doesn't mean that that will translate into a better performance in any discipline. So it's about how the body functions, and often it's about the weakest link in the body, so the weakest muscle that's needed for that specific movement that has to be improved. So if you increase your bench press, then that might not have any effect on your shot put throw, for instance. But a lot of times these would go hand in hand. But that's just something for you to think about, and also see if you want to try out. If you're really a performance athlete or you want to compete in a specific discipline, maybe you want to try to split your training sessions. Don't train as much in one go, just more frequently, and see if you can teach your body the movements and improve your technique by just doing repetitions, but letting your body just rest and then go back to it more frequently.